Max slammed the ball at the referee. Its trajectory cut a perfect arc before slamming square into the official's punchy stomach, even though it was a killer throw. One of the other dads jabbed at Max's father. Bet that's the most excitement your son Max will ever get in his life, huh? But Max's dad just let out a disdainful snort. In reality, Max had ridden the bench the entire game. Coach looked down on him, figuring he was just like his old man, doomed to be a permanent bench warmer. From the opening whistle, the players scrapped for the ball like beasts. Billy plowed through the front court with his 600-pound frame, only to get leveled by two opponents. The next second, the ref blew his whistle. Billy was out cold. His teammates swarmed around him in panic, but he lay motionless. The whole team turned to the coach for help, who prodded Billy's nose with a stick. Suddenly, Billy's eyes flew open. The coach held up 3 fingers, signaling for him to count. Billy mumbled something unintelligible. Did he even get it right? One player asked. When Billy grunted, yeah, everyone wrote it off as good enough, and the game went on. They won in the end. That's how Coach Bigmore ran his team. Brush off the players' health, only care about winning after the game. The coach snatched the scorebook out of Max's hand.
If your daddy hadn't played his heart out for me, I'd cut your ass.
Later in the classroom, Billy suddenly collapsed. Delayed damage from the previous game. As soon as he woke up, the coach burst in, ignoring Billy's excruciating pain entirely. He waved it off as a minor bruise and insisted he keep playing, cornered by the coach's relentless pressure. Billy had no choice but to agree. The coach left satisfied. In the first half, the opposing team took complete control, pouring on the points. Seeing this, the coach shook up the lineup immediately and sent Billy out, still hooked up to an oxygen mask. Max stepped forward to stop him. He didn't want to see his teammate play. Scared, the coach stormed over and chewed Max out, his eyes burning with a ravenous hunger for victory. Billy stumbled toward his position, but as soon as the game restarted, he crumpled from exhaustion. Just then, team captain Lance was blindsided by an opponent and went down clutching his right leg, the same one he had injected with meds earlier. Lance groaned in agony as his father's heart twisted in knots. The entire stadium fell into a deathly hush. Defeat seemed inevitable. The coach stared in disbelief. Lance's leg was probably ruined for good. When Billy woke up later, he was consumed with guilt, apologizing non-stop and insisting it was all his fault. Lance was carried off the court, and in that moment, the coach had no choice but to put Max in. As a lifelong bench warmer, Max finally got his shot.
Let's go. Let's go.
They're punting it.
Yep. We're out of timeouts, too.
No, we don't block this. It's over.
Coach Lance, put me in there. We'll block it.
Oh, you want to play defense?
Put me in there. We'll block it.
Lance stared into his determined eyes, then nodded, agreeing him to take the field on defense. With only 30 seconds left in the game, the Paris team held a 3-point lead. This defensive drive would decide the entire match's fate. Billy Bobby stepped onto the field, his gaze locked intently on the opponents. The whistle blew and he surged forward, plowing through the defenders like a bulldozer, and successfully intercepted the opponent's long pass. The stadium erupted in thunderous cheers instantly.
Twins right, Z out on 1. Twitter, make sure you get the hell out of bounds. Twins right, Z out on 1. Ready, break!
Twitter immediately signaled to set up their first touchdown play. Jonathan caught on right away, launching a pinpoint pass straight into his hands. Twitter secured the catch, but was tackled hard to the ground by a defender. Unfortunately, he stepped out of bounds. The moment he grabbed the ball, time ticked away each second, hammering at the fans' hearts like a sledgehammer. Just then, Jonathan caught sight of someone on the sidelines bench, frantically gesturing, signaling to execute the sand-clearing rule. From the McLaren playground, amid the cheers, only 7 seconds remained. The man wildly motioned for the staircase tactic, and Jonathan understood in an instant.
Billy Bob, this is it. The man who got us here. You ready?
You don't think that lame-ass play where I run down the field and act like I'm lost is going to work, do you?
Split left, 90. Hook and ladder on 1. Split left, 90. Hook and ladder on 1. Ready, fight!
He darted forward like a bolt of lightning. With Billy Bob pulling off a crucial block, Jonathan took a deep breath and delivered a beautiful, precise pass. The ball cut through the night sky like a rocket, landing firmly in Torres' hands. Defenders swarmed in, but Twitter sideways flicked the ball to Billy Bob. Beside him at the last split second, Billy Bob clung tightly to the ball, sprinting with every last ounce of his strength. He was utterly exhausted, nearly dropping to his knees, yet still pushed onward. Multiple defenders latched onto his back, but he forged ahead step by step, giving it everything he had, until he finally crossed the end zone line. The stadium erupted in absolute pandemonium.